another pendant with my last bet. How you got all them opinions with no assets? But it's cool, I guess I can be the bad guy. Cause they eatin' top ramen and not pad thai. I gives no fucks, I need my bucks, I thought I told them that. They ain't helping, but they acting like I owe them that. Twistin' top up at the pop-up, tear the block up with my single. Yeah, yo bitch, she wanna dip, she see the drip, she wanna mingle. Take the trips and make the flips, I stack my chips up like a Pringle. I be preaching all my ism, but it jam just like a jingle. Start choosing hoe, 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 start choosing hoe. Blowing purple packets in my blue suede loafers, turn both phones off when your bitch came over. I'm American, ain't shit embarrassing, I got no shame. Lost my Kerrigan, I slide down Harrison, they know my name. Tell a local bitch be vocal, tell me how are we the same. Tell your boyfriend not to try it, I've been working on my aim. All these rappers in my diet, I ain't worried about no lame. How you checking for my stats and don't know how to play the game? I can't even keep the trophies cause I gotta find a place. I walk in, they feel the energy, I occupy the space. Stuffing Benjis in my pocket, stuffing lobster in my face. Got them trying to follow moves, I'm about to send them on the chase. Twistin' top up at the pop-up, tear the block up with my single. Yeah, yo bitch, she wanna dip, she see the drip, she tear the block up with my single. Yeah, yo bitch, she wanna dip, she see the drip, she wanna mingle. Take them trips and make them flips, I stack my chips up like a Pringle. I be preaching all my ism, but it jam just like a jingle. Start choosing hoe, 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 start choosing hoe. Do it bigger than my foes, all them niggas hoes. I just bought a couple O's just to kill my lows. I been dipping, I been sliding, I been cutting Got my neighbors staring at me, they think something Ain't no catch, young niggas getting money now. All that shit that used to bother me be funny now. I'm about to cop another pendant with my last bet. How you got all them opinions with no assets? But it's cool, I guess I can be the bad guy. Cause they eatin' top ramen and not pad thai. I gives no fucks, I need my bucks, I thought I told them that. They ain't helping, but they acting like I owe them that. Twistin' top up at the pop-up, tear the block up with my single. Yeah, yo bitch, she wanna dip, she see the drip, she wanna mingle. Take them trips and make them flips, I stack my chips up like a Pringle. I be preaching all my ism, but it jam just like a jingle. Start choosing hoe, 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 start choosing. bought a couple O's just to kill my lows. I been dipping, I been sliding, I been cutting up. Got my neighbors staring at me, they think something up. Ain't no catch, young niggas getting money now. All that shit that used to bother me be funny now. I'm about to cop another pendant with my last bet. How you got all them opinions with no assets? But it's cool, I guess I can be the bad guy. Cause they eating top ramen and not pad thai. I gives no fucks, I need my bucks, I thought I told them that. They ain't helping, but they acting like I owe them that. Twist and top up at the pop up, tear the block up with my single. Yeah, yo bitch, she wanna dip, she see the drip, she wanna mingle. Take them trips and make them flips, I stack my chips up like a Pringle. I be preaching all my ism, but it jam just like a jingle. Start choosing hoe, start choosing hoe.
What's going on? What's going down? It's your favorite P. Cookie via motherfucking Slim, baby. Right now, we are Girls Have Fun, and this is a live podcast, baby. This is a conversation between you and I. We bringing that boy Derrick Jaxn to the motherfucking table, man. If you got it, go ahead and light it, baby. This is a 420 friendly show, baby. This is Girls Have Fun. You got a couple seconds right now to go ahead and light that big head, baby. Let's get to it. Girls Have Fun, baby. Be smooth, be cool, baby. This one of those nights. This one of those nights. We're going to get right into it. So if you don't know, I'm going to inform you about the Simp Captain. Church, y'all know what I mean when I say Simp Captain. It's a motherfucker who basically put themselves on the line and fall in that motherfucker line of a simp, baby. And when you're a simp, that means you think you know it all, but you don't know shit. The greatest man in the world knows he knows nothing at all, baby. So we gonna get into it. Derrick Jaxn, bring your ass to the motherfucking table, baby. It's church, baby. Now, if you don't know, I go by the name of Coop DeVille, motherfucking Slim, baby. Please don't forget the goddamn Slim. What we doing tonight with Girls Have Fun, we are bringing that boy Jaxn to the motherfucking table, baby. What happened is this nigga was around here serial cheating and downplaying other niggas when niggas was doing the same. Niggas is being niggas, but when it's a nigga who think he ain't a nigga, when a nigga think he ain't a nigga, shit get dirty, baby. And y'all know what a pimp mean by that, huh? When a nigga think that he know what's going on out here, and he go to talking and he go to running his motherfucking mouth without listening first. Find out the hard way, baby. Derrick Jaxn, bring your ass to the table. It's church, baby. This is Girls Have Fun. Chime in with your questions. Chime in with your comments. This is Girls Have Fun, baby. Let's go. Chime in with your comments, chime in with your questions. This is Girls Have Fun, baby. We live on 4 platforms, baby. Let's get it. Anchor, show them what time it is. Twitter, show them what time it is. Facebook, show them what time it is. It's church, baby. We gonna get right into it. Vibe out and smoke that blunt. Tonight we gonna get into it by that Simp Captain. That Simp Captain Derrick Jaxn, baby. If y'all don't know about it, y'all finna find out about it. This is Girls Have Fun, baby. We going in. We going in. We ain't gonna back down from nothing, baby. Let's get it. I appreciate everybody who stepped in tonight, man. I appreciate everybody who stopped in tonight. We live on full platforms. I am Coop DeVille Slim, baby, your favorite P. Now, right now, shit getting crazy, man. When I say shit getting crazy, that boy Derrick Jaxn, if y'all don't know him, he is a Christian, if that's what you want to call him. Guru, love guru, relationship expert, whatever you want to call this nigga here, man, this is what we call him. A motherfucking sucker. That's what we call this nigga. Now, see me, I wasn't even privy to pimping. Man, let me take that back. I wasn't even privy to simping. I ain't know this nigga here. I ain't never even heard of this nigga here. And apparently he got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of sheep behind him. You understand me? Motherfuckers who believing in his lies, believing in his fairy tales. You feel me? I'm gonna let y'all know right now the main person that I feel bad for in this whole situation is the missus. Church is the missus. Now, he put a lot of weight on her motherfucking shoulders. And Church, we gonna get into it. I wanna know what y'all think about this boy Derrick Jaxn. We finna open up these comment lines, and I really wanna know what y'all think about this boy Derrick Jaxn, because Church, to me, it's ultimate simping at its finest when you want to learn what not to motherfucking do. Just put your face out there like you're golden and end up being fool's gold. You feel me, Church? We into it. And really, I want y'all to understand, man, you can be who you want to be on this internet, but eventually, Church, that shit gonna fall in line. It's gonna really fall in line with what you really are, who you really are. So the best bet that you have is to be your motherfucking self, Church, the master of thyself. I feel like I preach that all the time. And this man was going around pretending, acting as if he knew himself, as if he was already the master of himself, as if he didn't have work in progress, as if God had already anointed him to be the perfect man that he thought he was. Church, we all have things that we have to fix. We all have things that we have to grow away from. Church, and this brother here, he let a lot of motherfuckers down. And I'm gonna tell you, he ain't let me down because I ain't know him, I ain't believe in him, I ain't have no faith in him. I never knew who he was till about 3 days ago, Church. And that's a fact. Because I don't really follow too many dick swingings on my social media platforms. I like to see what the pussy doing. That's just Church. That's who I am. That's who I always be, and that's who I always will be as long as God anoint me to have air in my lungs, Church. I can't really speak on pimping as far as a matter of fact circumstance because I was not in the room with him in any situation or standing. So I don't want to speak in this as if my opinion of this situation is law or fact. Let's get that clear. I don't want, because I don't know this brother. So I want to be fair to him. And I want to give him that opportunity to have that innocence until proven guilty, so to speak, type of thing. We already know he's guilty. But when I say innocence proven guilty, I mean we want to know that eventually he will come to grips with what he has done and what it has done to those that he says he cares about. Church, so I'm going to take a break for a second because basically, honestly, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. This show came out of the wind. This show came out of the wind because a couple people told me, hey man, you gotta talk about this. I don't really like talking about things of the moment because my opinion don't hold weight in these things. So it's kind of invalid to speak on in the moment. It's kind of good to look back on things in hindsight and say, okay, this probably how that should have went. But in the moment, this nigga has fucked up a lot of people. And we're not just talking about the people involved. We're talking about the people who look to him for answers. The people who follow his footsteps. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to get into it. I'm going to take the break. I'm going to light this thing back up. Y'all know what time it is. Vibe out. We'll give you something to vibe to. For those who didn't know, CDVS Worldwide is producing this podcast. Girls Have Fun is produced by CDVS Worldwide. In case you didn't know, you can find CDVS Worldwide on Twitter, Instagram, or just on the internet. Type in CDVS Worldwide, and the company, the team will arrive and show up for you. Church, let's get back into this, man. This boy Derrick Jaxn, we really lost at the moment with what he has done, how he has really burnt bridges in many different ways that a lot of people don't understand, man. He has burnt bridges as far as truth and understanding goes, because this motherfucker sit here and bashed. I went for a whole, let's say 30 minutes, church. And I went back and I looked on a couple of his videos. I listened to a couple of his words, church, and some of the shit he was saying held weight. Some of the shit that motherfucker was saying was actually valuable to the mind, valuable to the soul. It held something that a motherfucker could grasp onto. That go for preachers, anybody who's saying something that's worthwhile. Sometimes that shit, even me, sometimes a motherfucker may say, what the fuck you talking about? And it'd be other times when motherfuckers say, damn, that motherfucker hit on some shit. And that's how the Derrick Jaxn motherfucker was. He was hit and miss, but sometimes he hit that bitch out the park, but that shit got to him. He started to believe that what he was saying was his actual life. He started to believe that he was above the temptations, above the things that certain men in this world go through on a daily. He thought he was exempt from that. But what he really was doing, and this is why his simping was so magnificent, and I'm gonna tell you why his simping was so magnificent. What he was doing basically was taking the time to bash other men to make himself look good. But see, what he didn't realize is as he comes in contact with more women and more women, they end up having what we like to call experiences. The more experiences that a person has with you, the more they're able to see your bullshit. See, for somebody who's just around you for an Instagram click, or for somebody who's just around you for a Facebook like on a story and you scroll it, them not the motherfuckers that's in your corner, so they only see a glimpse of you. Derrick didn't realize that by him portraying himself to something, the more women that had experiences with him, the more women were able to crack his code. And his code wasn't really a code, church. His code was basically, I'm going to tell the women everything that's wrong with all these other men, so I have the perception of doing everything right. Church, I'm going to let y'all sit on that for a second. He gave the perception that every other nigga, every other man was doing wrong, so that it also made him look like he was doing right. Now, if you know anything about simping, if you know anything about failure to launch, what this is that this man has done and created is an avenue for niggas to backtrack. And when I say an avenue for niggas to backtrack, this motherfucker went through a circus ring of excuses of why he didn't live up to who he was pretending to be, church. Do y'all understand that? The weight of his pretending fell on his head. It fell hard on his head, church. Now, any P will tell you, once you step out on that porch, once you dwell in what we dwell in, and that's all he was doing was a mockery version of pimping. That's really what it was. It was a mockery version of pimping. It was a psychology pimping. It was a psychology pimping, but it was more so like I don't even want to call it. I keep making a mistake of calling it pimping because I'm so intertwined into certain shit of aspects of it. But we're gonna really call it what it is. It's manipulation. It's manipulation. It ain't even pimping. It's sucker shit. It's manipulation. What he was doing was manipulating the minds of women so women would look at me and say, oh, you're not Derrick Jaxn. But what even the women that were following Derrick Jaxn didn't realize is that even Derrick Jaxn isn't Derrick Jaxn. Do we all follow? We all understand? Even Derrick Jaxn is not Derrick Jaxn. And that goes for everybody. You build yourself into, and this goes for all of us under the sun. You build yourself into a person who you think or believe is an impenetrable armor, that no one can find you inside of that armor. We are all guilty of this, church. Church, we are all guilty of this. Anybody under the sound of my voice, we are guilty of trying to protect ourselves. But what he didn't realize is his protection was based off the ability of others to believe it. That was his armor. And he didn't realize that kink was able to be seen for everybody. Now he's backpedaling. Church, now he's trying to figure out a way out. He's trying to figure out a way out. But church, if you'd have been who you were in the beginning, walking in, you would have understood. Now, most women, when they see his wife, they look at her and they say, and this was, we're going to talk about before the bullshit, church. Anybody who's seen his wife, any female who's seen his wife, let's keep it a gang. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it gang. Any female who looked at her was like, oh, that bitch ain't fine as me. I could take her nigga. And I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that most women even thought that. But when they saw him and when they saw her, most of these females was confused of why he talk all this shit. He around all these women, but yet his wife, let's keep it real, she ain't to what motherfuckers think he would have for the shit he talk. Correct? They look at his wife and they say, this man here sit here and he talk all this shit. He go to the gym. You can tell he go to the gym. You can tell he work out. So he want to look good, but it's not his wife he want to look good for. It's for Instagram. You understand what I'm saying? She probably knew the nigga when he ain't had shit, before the muscles, before the teeth, before the glow up. She probably was with him when all the other bitches ain't understand who the fuck he was. And then he got to this gram. He got to this thing called the internet, church. And he started doing this. Now see, when you're going to get on this internet, church, and you're going to speak, you got to speak with clarity. He was speaking as if, like I say, like he was perfect. He was speaking as if he could do no wrong. But he didn't realize humanity strikes us all, church. In different ways, in different times, humanity strikes us all. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. There are things in my past that, church, in my simping days, that glory to God, I'm in fear of ever seeing the light of day. I'm in fear of ever seeing the light of day. But what you have to realize is who you were and who you are two different people. But when you try to be who you were as who you are, you will always fail, because growth cannot exist with immaturity or immaturation. If something is not mature, it doesn't define growth. Growth is a progression step. And as he sat there and he would proclaim that he was progressing, but the thing that he would proclaim about progressing, he would claim that he was progressing and everybody else was regressing. That nobody else had the secret. Nobody else had the codes. It was only him. It was only him, Judge. Now, if you're going to keep it honest with yourself, we all retweet little quotes and stuff. We all put up little sayings on our social media. But we don't try, at least I don't. You can't live life through a meme. You can't live life through social media. It's not possible. You can build and grow in certain areas using the internet as a tool. And that's what he did. But he did not realize that in the end of the day, action has to come along with words. See, church, there's been men, and I'm going to say it fact. Church, I'm going to say it fact. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to cut it off at the head. There have been men that come to me and say, hey, man, you fake pimping out here, man. You fake pimping out here. Where your hoes at, man? I don't see them. Y'all know I had to light that back up for that. Anybody who know me, if you bring that bag, it's a lot of people who say rest in peace, Chad, man. He said a line that I never forget. And there's certain things that, man, when men speak to you, the music and the beats and all that shit, it fade away. When a man voice coming through them records and a man speaking to you and he talking that shit, it's gonna hit you a different way. And church, when Sweet Jones said, what you got to do is you got to realize, man, and I'm gonna get back to what Chad said, but something just sparked in my head right now. People don't realize that timing is motherfucking everything. He fucked up on his timing, but anyways, Chad basically said, what you don't understand is your downfall. What you gonna do when the devil poke you with his fork? What you gonna do when the devil poke you with his fork? And that line stuck to me. Right now, Derrick getting touched with that fork and he don't know how to handle it. Every time that fork hit him in a different way, he come up with a different excuse. Church, let's all be real, man. Let's all be real. The nigga a sucker, man. It ain't really no two ways around it. Homie a sucker. And like I said, there's a lot of women that when they seen his wife, they looked at him, they seen the muscles, they seen the glow up, and then they don't know the bullshit that he done went through, the shit that she probably done seen before he became the motherfucker that y'all fucked with. You feel me? But now, he don't realize that devil done poked him with a fork. Hit him hard for his stupidity, for his ignorance. God don't play no games. And then Church turned around and say, I feel like when I gave my life to God, my life got horrible. Church, we're going to have to smoke a big one for that. Let's get us a second. Let's just get us a second to think about that foolish shit this sucker nigga just said, man. We don't play that. How you get yourself to God? How you get yourself to God, church, and your life go to shit? That's only saying that your life wasn't shit before, because God don't come into anybody's life. Anybody's life to take it on the downward escalator. And if he did, just let me keep it real with you. It's because he wanted you to see how fucked up you was. He wanted you to see how ignorant you was. Church, if you're going to try to be a Casanova out here, you got to understand how to play the game. If you're going to be a fucked up nigga, church, say you a fucked up nigga. Don't be out here pretending. Don't be out here standing on 9 toes when you can stand on 10. Church, I've never understood. Nobody is perfect, man. We got to live our truth. Church, we got to live our truth. My truth is, I'm an international P from motherfucking Florida, man. I had to have a real life conversation with my mother, the person who birthed me, that her son is a real life international P. You know how hard that is to live your truth to your mother? And this man sitting here lying to all of y'all. It takes a lot of work for us to some of us creators to put ourselves in positions to where we can be judged, our lives can be scrutinized, our time on this earth can be cut in half because of haters. And then you have manipulators like Derrick Jaxn, who took the time to destroy lives. He took the time to destroy lives. We all have inadvertent shit that happens through our mistakes. That happens. It's called chain reaction. Church is called chain reaction. But the one thing that we normally do as humans is once we fuck up and we make mistakes, we try to right our wrongs. We don't try to get ourselves out of that wrong. We try to figure out who our wrongs affected and fix that. This man has been continuously self-intertwined. It's no other word for it. He's a simp. He will live the rest of his life. He will live the rest of his life, church, as a simp. He will die a simp. And if he is reborn, he will be reborn a simp. Because in the mind of men, this is not even on no peace shit, pimp. In the mind of men, fault is grace. Even the Lord knew his shortcomings. Fault is grace. Imperfection is beauty. It means you have something to work towards, something to work for. Why emulate perfection if you don't know what it looks like? That's just a question for anybody. Why try to emulate perfection if you don't know what it looks like? You know how many motherfuckers hate me? You know how many motherfuckers love me? You know how many motherfuckers wish I would shut up and just shut up? You know how many motherfuckers wish I would keep talking? This is life. Live it accordingly, but limit those that are affected by your fuckery. Limit those who are affected by your fuckery, church. Now y'all know sometimes I can get on here and I can start the preaching. But that's not the game. That's not the game. Whatever Derrick Jaxn was doing to really get his followers up, I think once he reached the status that he wanted to reach, I think once he got to the point of where he wanted to be, he lost sight of the fact that shit could all come crumbling down in 2.2 seconds. Now, I heard somebody say he didn't even take the time to dress his wife up and put her out there in front of the camera. Church, Derrick Jaxn is a motherfucking fool. The fact that he had his wife on there, period, church, and this is who I feel bad for. The wife. I said it in the beginning of the podcast. The wife is who I feel bad for. The wife is who gets my sympathy, empathy, and understanding. She stood in a place where she knew the fire was coming. But she knew that one thing she had to do, even in the fuck up shit, because it's a wife duty, just as it's a man's duty, to stand by your partner in times of fuck shit. Don't mean she ain't ready to leave. Don't mean she ain't gonna get up and pack her motherfucking bags, church. It simply means that she knew it as her duty, as her wifely duty. I have to stand here with this sucker ass nigga and watch him tell the world some sucker ass lies but it's my duty to stand here. You could tell in her reaction that she was just looking like, man, I got to get away from this nigga. This nigga's gonna die alone. And I'm gonna tell you why he gonna die alone. Because any woman that is with him, she's with him superficially. Because if he'll cheat and fuck off on the person who was with him when he ain't have shit, he gonna fuck off on the motherfucker who with him when he got shit. Derrick Jaxn is the ultimate simp, baby. I want to know what y'all think, man. Derrick Jaxn is the ultimate simp. This is Girls Have Fun. We're running live on 4 platforms right now. Comment, share, like, subscribe, whatever you got to do, baby. Right now, I do want to let y'all know this is a selfish, shameless plug. We got Nightmare dropping. Nightmare is dropping Friday. So if you ain't got the chance to check that out, you can check that out. We got our Like It Already dropped. I Like It dropped. So if you do have Spotify, iTunes, whatever, church, go ahead and check that out. But right now, man, we're going to go ahead and let y'all vibe out for a second. We got to light this blunt back up, man. We got to light this blunt back up. But church, like I said, if we get back to the conversation at hand, right? Derrick Jaxn let us down. And as I said, I'm not a fan. I never knew his work. I just got privy to him about 3 days ago. But Church really let us down, and I'm going to tell you why he let us down. He let us down because as men, we got to take the fall for this. The next generation of men going to take the fall for this. Those who coming up behind us, because I'm probably a couple years older than Pimpin', but, you know. Either way, the next group of the next generation, the next group of young bulls coming up, we gonna take that L because of this nigga stupidity. You know why? Because words have now become diminished. The man set up here, got tweets, got follows. Yo bitch probably got a motherfucking tweet of his on her shit. Yo female probably got a tweet of his on there right now. And all his words just came crashing down. So now all that talking that y'all doing, Church, it has to be action behind it now. It has to be. It has to be. This nigga has put infidelity and stupidity at the same time on the stage. Now, how do we as consumers, how do you as consumers decipher from the fuck shit? Because if he's a guru and an expert and you're watching his happiness, so to speak, because you're seeing him on Instagram, you're seeing the things he's saying. And I've always wondered this for the past 3 days as I was looking through his shit, right? You know, because I don't really spend too much. Anybody who follow Coop the Real Slim, you know, I apologize, but I do not spend too much time on social media. I can't do it. I'm too busy. I'm working. I'm trying to make things happen in a way where my children can eat off of what the fuck I'm doing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm living in a digital world of trying to make money move for me when I'm asleep. So I don't really have time to check these things. But when I look, most of his videos, most of his clips was always shot in the car. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with shooting your content in the car, but there is something wrong with shooting your content in the car if you're a relationship guru and your partner is never with you. That's just the first flag. It's so many videos of him alone, and I didn't take the time to go back too far, but I know I went back far enough. He has pictures of her up. That is a fact. I can't sit here and say he does not have pictures of her up. But most of his videos are self-hating, throwing salt, shitting on niggas when he know damn well what the fuck he doing in the dog. That's most of this nigga shit. Church, most of it is complaining about why niggas don't do this, why men don't do that, why men. And we need to strip the Christian. Who the fuck put the Christian Church in front of his shit? Christian relationship guru. This man talking about dick and pussy more than me, man. So obviously his mind was on fuck. Why all the relationship shit he was talking about always dealt in fucking? Like, if your woman is cheating, if your man is fucking, if you're doing it, like come on, Judge. At some point, People do other shit in life than fuck. And it's a P telling you this, man. People do other shit than fuck, man. It's plenty of people I got right now that make money that don't even go in a room with a motherfucker. Did y'all hear me? That don't even go in a room with a motherfucker, but make that bread for him. Make that bread for a young man. I had to say young man because, she a little bit, seasoned. Church. But she do it. She do it. And she don't do nothing. So it's a common misunderstanding that when you think about relationship gurus, if I want to know how to better my relationship, I don't need to always know how to better my bed. Sometimes your relationship don't have shit. Why your relationship is sour don't have shit to do with your bed. Sometimes the sex is great, the relationship's shit, but the fucking is great. So what do I do when the fucking ain't got shit to do with why I'm not happy? What the fuck you telling the folk then? But see, that's how you crack the code. If I would have been listening to pimping, Jesus Christ, if I would have been listening to simping, motherfucking a year ago, Church, a year ago, I don't know how long cuz been out, but if I would have been listening to a year ago, I'd have been able to crack his code. He throwing too much salt. You ever tried to mix a pot up? Or some good ass gumbo or some good ass sketty or something that pop, Church? Hey man, something that you know is good. Throw too much salt in that bitch. Throw too much salt in that bitch and watch what'll happen. It don't taste good no more. It ain't right no more. I gotta throw this shit out and start all over. That's all cuz was doing, was throwing salt pill to make everybody else look bad, make himself look good, when really this nigga ain't nothing but sugar water masquerading as goddamn Kool-Aid. You hear me? This nigga E and J walk around talking about he Hennessy. You understand me? This motherfucker is Cristal thinking he ace of spades. Look, man, we all got areas to grow in, man. Don't live in the illusion of perfection. We don't know what perfection look like, Church. Why are y'all living in a fantasy of social media, trapped in a society that make you think perfection is an ideal way to look? It's an ideal way to live. Let's take Derrick off the platter for a second, Judge. You don't think a lot of them Instagram influencers, they don't get the time to enjoy these places that they visit? They too busy doing this. You got to see everything. They want you to see everything. They got their hands up with the phone 24/7. They want to show you what they doing instead of actually doing what they doing. That's hard for some of y'all to understand, because they like, well, they doing it. They showing me they doing it. So what you mean they doing it? No, they not doing it. Back in the day, Church, this is why I respect Dave Chappelle so much, Church. Dave Chappelle ain't in my world. Dave Chappelle don't live in my world. Dave Chappelle don't even travel in my circles, pimp. But one thing I can tell you is, Dave Chappelle back in the day, he would make sure a motherfucker wouldn't come in. Matter of fact, he would make sure a motherfucker wouldn't come into his show with a cell phone. So you couldn't film his show. And by the time, it take 5 minutes. So by the time he done with his show, before he can get in his limo to go to the airport, to get on the plane, to go to the next city to do a show, his whole set already out there for the world to see. So now he got a show tomorrow. Before he can even go do that show, he got to come up with a whole new set. Because y'all want to take away the creativity by having the illusion. You want to live in the illusion instead of the experience. I'm at a point where I want motherfuckers to live in the experience. It's sometimes where I go 2-3 days without even my phone. Back when let's say 2010, this was when Facebook was in its prime, church. Facebook was in its prime. A bitch couldn't get on their phone, couldn't get on the computer, couldn't do shit unless they checked Facebook first. It was them days. Church, I was on Facebook heavy. Bitch, every day. Anybody can tell you every day. Stand. Bam, bam, bam. Talking about hoes. Bam, bam, bam. Because I knew what I was doing. But I knew how I was doing it. And I knew why I was doing it. But once I started to see the dynamic of social media going from gathering followers to promote some shit or grow your brand, once I saw the social media going into the world and going into fun and not so much entrepreneurial aspects, I instantly fell back. Because now it's not even, it's who can make somebody laugh the most, who can get the most likes. It's not really like, no one has figured out how to brand themselves on social media besides just showing other motherfuckers what they doing. It's some people who've managed to realize that this thing can be used for branding, you know? So I say that to say, and this wasn't a tangent. This was all to say, your boy was building a persona in that era, that same time frame. But instead of him realizing that the tide was shifting and he needed to step back, Church, he leaned forward into it and got more boisterous, got more aggressive with what he was saying, got more certainty behind what he was saying, Church. I don't think he did enough research to understand the world enough. I think he got into that phone. He started getting told he was cute. He start getting told, you got a girl, you got this. Attention, certain niggas you can see. It's niggas like myself and a couple of my partners. Cause we could be out here busted and rusty and still gonna walk up to the baddest. What's up, babe? How you doing? How are you? Hi, hello. You feel me? Still gonna walk up to her. Even in our baddest days. But it's niggas like that who ain't never had nobody really give them attention. So then when they turn that phone on and they see, oh, I got this. Oh, I can pull this, man. Why I'm at home with this ugly ass hoe? Not calling his wife ugly. But we gonna say what it really is. Why I'm here with a 6 when I know I could be out there getting a 9. But you don't understand, God put this 6 in your position. So you could, number 1, build her into a 10. And then number 2, she can make you the motherfucking man you're supposed to be. But in your infinite, futile infancy of a mind, you didn't see that. You went for the gold. That's what the devil put in front of you. You went for the gold. Instead of being a motherfucker who at the time, because see, back then when you got married to your woman, you wasn't Derrick Jaxn. You wasn't him. You wasn't that dude. Now you that dude. You don't want your wife no more. You feel like you don't need your wife no more. But look what God doing, church. And y'all know, I ain't no religious nigga. But church, I'm very much spiritual. By glory, by grace. God working on your ass, Pimp. And because you said that foolish shit, as soon as you turned your life over to God, man. As soon as you said that foolish shit, God turned up the heat. God turned up the heat on your ass. And you still in the kitchen trying to explain yourself out the fire. Instead of just walking out and putting that bitch out. I'm sorry, I fucked up. I'm sorry, I fucked up. You ain't even got to say sorry if you don't want to say sorry. Hey, I fucked up. I could have done better. I'ma do better. And then put your action behind that fuck shit you be talking. Cause church, we all guilty of the fuck shit. We all guilty of the fuck shit. But are you gonna let the fuck shit define you, Derrick, Mr. Jackson? Are you gonna let the fuck shit define you? Because you putting it on all of us to be incumbent of your fuckery. As men, we gotta explain what we do that to our bitches. And when I say bitches, I say that in the most respectful way. But let me flip it up for the women behind my voice. Would you do that to your woman? The one who's supposed to hold you down, keep you grounded in this motherfucker? Keep you humble, keep you just leveled in general. How have we as men got to a point where we feel like the grass is green on the other side? That's what we living in. Did everybody feel like they can do better than what God gave them? You let that internet get to you. I done seen that shit with niggas like you before, church. In the game and out of the game. I done seen that sucker shit before. You build yourself up. The motherfuckers around you build you up. You talk your fuck shit. And then when you get called out on your fuck shit. See, and we're gonna keep it gangster. We're gonna keep it a gang right now. We call niggas like you Sharif, pimp. And hopefully some of y'all ain't too young to know who Sharif is. You feel me? You preaching all this shit. But then you turn around and you got Becky in your room. That's what Sharif, you Sharif, pimp. Every man walking on this earth is responsible for the next man, church. This is why in pimping, there is no such thing as hating. We congratulate all men. Men, listen to the sound of my voice. We congratulate all men in their construct. Because God put you here for a reason, to move some boulder or rock to get us all to a higher level. Each one of us move a motherfucking boulder that gets us to a different place. So there's no hating. There's no hating in this, Derrick. It's a conversation. It's that niggas like you, church, you build shit up. You get these hoes too much motherfucking confidence. Not confidence in themselves. Confidence that they could go out there and find a nigga like you. When a nigga like you don't even exist. You don't even exist. You trying to find out ways to be the nigga you talking about, Judge. Come on, man. That's a crime, man. That's a crime. As my dog Sinful would say, you perpetrating the reality. How you living in reality and perpetrating reality? Just be you, man. They'll love you the same. I swear they will. Man, my cousin told me one time, man, and it's a fact. My cousin probably gonna hear this and he gonna say, man, you wild as fuck. But no, it's real. My cousin told me, he said, man, you know what? You know why people don't fuck with you? And I say, damn, what make you think people don't fuck with me? You know what I'm saying? He said, no, I ain't saying it like that. He said, but you know why people don't fuck with you? I know what you got. I know what you do. But don't nobody see it because you don't put it out there. Don't nobody see what you're doing. And that's a downfall. That ain't a good thing. And I say, now this nigga here touching on something. Because I never wanted to be the nigga that was showing you everything that I was doing, because I didn't want to get eyes on me from the wrong set of eyes that turned what I was doing into what, you know, some shit that they want to see in TV, you know, or some shit that they see in a movie, and attribute that to me and my niggas, and me and the niggas that move like how I move. And that was the furthest thing of what I wanted to do, Judge. You know? But then you got niggas like that, who I get the other side of that from. He wanted to be seen so much to the point that now your life is being seen. Do you still want to be seen, Mr. Jaxn? Because right now I'm pretty sure he want to crawl into a motherfucking hole and die like the simp he is. And this ain't no hate. This is simply an observation of the situation. You clipped a lot of niggas' wings, man. A lot of niggas who was following you thinking they being good niggas. And when I say you clip their wings, I'm not saying that they gonna go off and go fuck off on their bitch like you fucked off on your bitch like an idiot ass nigga. For the rest of us niggas who ain't married, who ain't out here living like that, we can do what the fuck we want. We living in honesty, bitch. We out here doing what the fuck we want. Nigga, you told yourself in front of God and the world and your family and your mama and your whoever was standing up there that you finna lay down that law for this one thing right here. And you couldn't do it. So now we all supposed to be around here agreeing with your faults and indiscretion? Church, I can't do that. I'm out here living in truth. Bitch, when you want to get married, go get married. If you don't want to get married, don't get married. Be out here do your motherfucking thing. Church, I cannot stand with idiocy. This is Girls Have Fun, baby. You are rocking with your favorite P, Coop the Via motherfucking Slim, baby. This is a conversation between you and I. We rocking with anybody who's rocking with the fact that nigga Derrick Jaxn is a simp. We rocking with anybody who rocking with the fact that nigga Derrick Jaxn is a simp. That's it, man. Ain't no other way around it, Church. We can't find no kind of good, no kind of leeway in it for this nigga. He just took a big capital L. We don't know how we can pull him out of this. You understand what I'm saying? I done talked to some real down international P's behind this. Before I even got on here to have this conversation, I talked to a couple P's. I said, man, hey man, how y'all feel about this shit? Because for me, Church, I don't really feel one way or the other about it. One of my OGs broke it down to me. He said, Young P, you gotta understand. Your business is your business, that man business. But when that man mixed everybody else up in his business, now we ain't got no choice but to be in his business. And since we in his business, that nigga doing some fucked up shit. So it ain't wrong to speak on it, but at the same time, watch how you speak on it. So I'm watching how I speak on it, Chuck. But at the same time, ain't we all living with his fuck up? If you a man, you living with his fuck up right now. I'm keeping it a buck. If you a man, you living with his fuck up right now. Because this is like, and I'm not gonna say like Jesus, because nigga, it ain't like Jesus. But let's just say for a fact, it's like who's somebody that's great that ain't gonna offend nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's like finding out that Martin Luther King was with Jacqueline Kennedy or something on the low. They're like finding out that. It's that bad. Cause you can't be leading sheep and then fuck off and do some shit like that. I remember one time it was a pastor, man. It was a pastor church. And y'all know I mention pastors and shit a lot because we live in the same worlds. You know what I'm saying, church? We one and the same. If a preacher tell you he ain't no kin to a pimp in some way, shape, or form, fashion, he's a motherfucking liar, and you need to find you a new church pimp. That's hold on. If a pastor don't tell you in honesty, can't look you in the eye and tell you he some kin to a pimp in some way, form, or fashion, you need to find you a new church. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to make sure you put that R in there. You know what I'm saying? You need to find you a new church. But this is go to say, that's like that. I knew a pastor one time and he used to always talk about just repentance. Say always talking about repentance, and me as the analytical thinker that I am, I used to always wonder why is that the main thing he always talk about? Because if you pay attention, preachers talk about what's more near and dear to them than anything. Because when they're up there preaching, they're not really talking to y'all. I hope everybody under the sound of my voice understand when you go to church, the preacher is not really talking to y'all. He's having a conversation with God, and y'all are listening. This is between him and God, because if he leads you in the wrong, if he's going in the wrong direction, inevitably you going in the wrong direction. So every Sunday, you're not listening to him talk to you. You listen to him talk to God and see how that shit going. So I used to hear a preacher always talk about repentance, and I used to always wonder why is he talking about repentance so motherfucking much? What is it about repentance? You know? And then I realized, it's because he know he got a lot of shit to motherfucking repent about. It's the only reason he always talking about. And then shit hit the fan. Shit hit the motherfucking fan. He ended up needing a lot of shit to repent about. God bless the dead, he not here no more. But when he was here, shit got bad. Shit was on news. Shit was everywhere. You know? And he's always, you know, and like I said, perfection is the devil's work. When you want to have that image touch of perfection, you better be goddamn ready to come with that. Because when people believe you are the epitome of whatever you trying to persuade a motherfucker you are, if you trying to say that you the epitome of that, then that makes you the target. You the one we want to see. If you really about that, then we know everything surrounding you is really about that. If you ain't really about that, then we know everything surrounding you ain't really about that. And I'm not saying nobody to go, if you saying you doing this or you saying do that, go out and do it. Church, I'm not saying that. You don't have nothing to prove to people, but you become the motherfucker that people want to see. It was proved because you putting yourself out there as I'm the perfection, I'm the epitome of this shit that I'm talking. You know what I'm saying? See, me, I'm gonna tell you, it's P's I learned from. It's P's before me. It's P's that I'm still learning from. It's P's that I teach. It's P's that come up under me. But for me to sit here and tell anybody that I'm the perfection of pimp, I'm the perfection of ism, I'm the perfection of glory, come on, man, I'd be stupid, because then they're gonna come on me. And when I say come on me, I ain't talking about that. I'm saying they're gonna come on me. Yeah, that way. See, some of y'all say come for me. No, we say come on me. You know what I'm talking about? And y'all don't want to be that nigga. Cause when you that nigga, what? Ain't no coming back from there. So you got to make sure when you want to sit here and say you a relationship guru and you ain't got no sympathy for a motherfucker. Well, shit, church, we can't have no sympathy for you right now. Cause you out here doing the foolish man game. Be single. Don't ruin no people. I mean, her mama seeing this. Her daddy seeing this. The female that you slept with, her family not know. She sleep with married men. She don't give a fuck. She taking pictures in cuz crib. She don't give a fuck. You know? So we got to think all these things through. Who do you want to be? I want to be a nigga who live in my truth. Good, bad, ugly. I fuck up. Hey, man, I fuck up. I'm sorry. Keep your motherfucker moving. If you don't take my apology, fuck you and that apology then. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm only going to do it once. This motherfucker on an apology tour because he's simping. He's sucker. Why you apologizing? I thought you ain't do nothing wrong. Mr. Jackson. I just took 90 minutes of my motherfucking day, church. A bitch lucky I got a motherfucking blunt that lasted that long. Cause without having a blunt, I would have probably said some shit that would have offended y'all. And definitely would have offended this nigga. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what I'm here for. Like I said, there's no hating in this thing called ism. I ain't no motherfucking hating, baby. It's not in me. It's not in me. It's not in none of the niggas I be around. We all want to see everybody prosper, but what we can't do is allow fuck shit to prosper when the niggas who really trying to put in work to really get in positions to talk to folk and talk to folk from a position of not just who got the most followers, but we talking about for real experience. We talking about what we can tell you what to do and not to do without being a fucking fluky out here, man. Not a flunky. This nigga a fluky, man, because he a fluke. You sat here for all these years preaching this shit. You should have realized in that time when niggas like me, when the people, let's put it this way, when Backpage got shut down, a nigga couldn't talk that shit no more. When Backpage got shut down, a nigga couldn't talk that shit no more. When Backpage got shut down, the niggas couldn't talk that shit no more. You should have switched up and stopped acting like a motherfucking King Dick. Should have been your motherfucking self. You should have been your motherfucking self, Church. Because, like I said, this just took 90 minutes for me to give a niggas game that they should have already had. Now you know what your wife think of you. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk real. You know what your wife think of you? Your wife think you will let her drown in the ocean. Figuratively and literally. So your wife feel like to save your image, to save your reputation, to save your follower count, you'll throw it to the wolves. You'll put a bullet in the head. All to keep your likes. I can't co-sign a nigga who willingly. Now see, us in the ism, we understand. What they say, baby? What they say? By choice, not by force. By choice, not by force. You ain't giving your wife no choices in this thing, man. She a woman. Ugly, fine, whatever the fuck. She a woman. She able to handle your fuck shit. You better give her a choice. You ain't giving no choices right now. You look like the bully. You look like you forcing her to be in a situation that you created just so you can look better. Your wife think of you as the lowest of the low right now. And see, you think that you good. We gonna have a real conversation, Mr. Derrick. You think you good. You think your wife can't find nobody better than you because you Mr. Perfect, right? Church, ugly or not, sexy or not, the one thing you don't understand, your wife don't have to go out and have sex with no other nigga to hurt your heart. I ain't got to say no more, Church. Every nigga who understand this ism know that bitch ain't got to do shit with another nigga to hurt that nigga's soul. That nigga got some shit coming, man. That nigga got some shit coming. Church, and the sad thing about it is, the last time I felt like I did one of these where I just talked to y'all, man, I think it was around the time with Tank said some shit about sucking dick don't make you gay or some shit. I don't remember. But I know this has been the weirdest simping I had to motherfucking call out in about 2 years. This probably been the weirdest simping that I had to call out in about 2 years. And I done seen a couple niggas doing some simping that I felt like, bro, that ain't got shit to do with me. They ain't even my lane. I don't give a fuck. But when you out here trying to be casting over, man, and don't even know the rules of the game, Judge, you leaving all us in the wind, man. You don't give a fuck about none of us. And when I say none of us, you don't give a fuck about none of us with dicks out here. You don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all, but at least I ain't at least church. At least appear man enough to put myself in my own predicaments that only affect me and mine. That shit don't affect just you and yours. That affect you, yours, theirs, them, all that shit, because you got motherfuckers following you who believed you. I don't want y'all to believe me. Believe in God. Church don't believe me. Believe in God. I'm a motherfucking nigga with a dick. God made me. I didn't make this shit. They ain't make none of this shit we in. But why would I act like I'm perfect? I'm gonna end up like Derrick Jaxn if I act like I'm perfect. We ain't perfect. That nigga had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to say he had a sexual relationship without having sex. I'm saving that for next week. I'm getting some ladies in for that. Is it even possible? Y'all know, I'm letting y'all know what the next topic gonna be right here, right now. Anybody on the sound of my voice live right now? We live on 4 platforms, man. And then I'm gonna close the podcast, baby. But is it possible to be in a sexual relationship without having sex? What foolery is this? What foolery is this? Did we miss a memo? Is it a Me Too movement going on for sex without sex? I'm not understanding this thing, because church, my whole essence, my whole being, my whole sense of existence, church is surrounded by coitus. Period. It's surrounded by coitus. Like, I can't get away from it. But I live life on a thrill. I don't live life trying to make everybody feel like they need to be on the thrill with me, because this the best thrill ever. I wouldn't advise certain shit for anybody if they're not strong enough to jump in this shit. You understand me, church? You understand me? You feel me? What is it? There we go. If you ain't strong enough to be in this shit, you messing with motherfuckers' mothers, daughters, nieces, cousins, sisters, whatever, man. This shit serious. And he played a dangerous motherfucking game. The ultimate Simp award goes to Mr. Derrick Jaxn. You are the simp of the century. You single-handedly, sir, took niggas back 10 to 20 years of hard fought ground. So yes, I will firmly right now, Coop DeVille motherfucking Slim, baby, will announce we are living in the decade of the WAP, baby. Dicks have just lost the ultimate power, because now you understand manipulation can go to the highest of the highest of the highest of confused levels. This has been Girls Have Fun. I am your favorite P, Coop DeVille Slim. Don't forget the motherfucking Slim, baby. We here on the podcast every Wednesday, every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, baby. You can check us out anytime. Catch our next live. You can text in, comment in, and we can get it going, baby. It's church, baby. Yeah.